daily insights that matter. My name is Merlin Susanna and I'm a research analyst from the Informed Investor team. Adani Group made an announcement that it will indirectly buy 29.18% stake in NDTV and also launch an open offer for another 26% stake in a bid to acquire majority stake in NDTV. Now, also another question is if the retail investors will tender share in the issue, as Adani Group has priced the open offer at Rs 294 per share, which is at a 20% discount. Having said that, we will just stick to the financial angle of this acquisition and we will say a few words on the corporatization of media houses. Did you know, apart from NDTV, Adani Group has also picked up 49% stake in Bloomberg Quint's publisher? So the news of Adani foraying into news media is anything but new. Now, speaking of NDTV, NDTV operates 3 news channels and also has an online presence and has news handles on social media that has about 35 more million followers. Now, over the last few years, NDTV also recorded strong revenues and profitability with negligible debt. Media is a force in India and it has the power to reach into every drawing room. Now, the ownership of media becomes all the more important since owning it means that you have control over how things, policies, people, politics are perceived. While we don't want to make any premature comments, we do believe media houses must be independent. Having said that, only time will tell on how things will pan out for NDTV, and it will depend on how it is managed and governed. We believe that acquisition of NDTV will bring in some synergy for Adani Group and also help it deepen its position in the news media sector. And for the NDTV, a big conglomerate backing the company will also strengthen its market and financial position. The Employees Provident Fund organization has added a record of 18.36 lakh new subscribers in June 2022, registering a 43% rise year over year. Now, Employee Provident Fund is an automatic savings tool for most of us, which has an impact on our take-home pay, and also the contributions are deductible from income. Well, of course, this particular development won't have a direct impact on you as such, but we will tell you the significance of this on the economy as a whole. The EPFO's payroll is a part of the organized sector workforce, and the net addition in the EPFO subscriptions is an indicator of the extent of formalization of the job market. Like we mentioned earlier, formal job creation stood at a record high of 1.83 million in June 2022. Out of the total 18.36 lakh members, around 10.54 lakh new members have been covered for the first time. New members joining has shown a growing trend. On another positive note, the age group of 22 to 25 years also registered the highest number of net enrollments of 0.47 million during June. An increase in EPFO numbers can be seen as a sign of formalization of the economy, that is, the number of people joining the organized workforce. Now, the data also shows that the many first-time job seekers are also joining the organized sector workforce in large numbers. All of these points are strong positives in our quest to become a formalized economy. One of the sectors that suffered huge setbacks over the last few years was the real estate sector. The disruptions came in form of demonetization, GST, and COVID-19. However, the Indian real estate market looks to be sitting on a much solid ground right now. According to industry experts, India's residential market is expected to sustain demand momentum despite rise in mortgage and property rates. Let us understand how the residential markets have performed in the first 2 quarters of this calendar year and decode this claim. In Q2 of this calendar year, the residential market has posted record sales. Across top 7 cities, around 84,900 units were sold in Q2 compared to 24,570 units sold in Q2 2021, which is an increase of 246% year over year. Now, when we look at the quarter-over-quarter data for housing, demand does seem slightly dented. But residential sales in the top cities are now back to the pre-pandemic levels and in some cases even better. The demand for housing continues despite the 2 hikes in the repo rate by the RBI and shows now no signs of diminishing. Now, it is quite interesting to know despite rising interest rates, the momentum in residential market remains strong. So what exactly is fueling this growth? Now, according to us, it is these below reasons. Now, the interest rates rising is not sufficient to drag down the strong demand that we are witnessing right now, which is also supported by the momentum of Indian economy. Now, despite a slight rise, home loan rates are still low and are cheaper than compared to the 8% and more levels just before the pandemic. Now, in the last 3 monetary policy announcements, the RBI has increased the benchmark interest rates by 140 basis points. However, this is still lower than the pre-COVID levels. Now, another factor fueling the growth is the rapid urbanization and demographic changes in India. So what does these news mean for you? While we maintain our reservation on corporatization of media houses, we believe this will be a direct positive if you're an investor in NDTV, as the backing of a large conglomerate like Adani will strengthen its market and financial position. While we say this, do know that this is a commentary on the fundamentals alone, and this is not a stock recommendation or a recommendation to participate in the open offer, as that entails details of valuation exercises. The consistent rise in EPFO numbers and other policy efforts will accelerate our quest to become a formalized economy. This will have an indirect positive impact on you. The housing market was among the worst affected by the pandemic, so it is critical that these industries are currently experiencing strong sales, as it is a leading indicator of consumer sentiment. This will have an indirect positive impact on you. While I say this is me, Merlin Susanna, signing off. Take care and stay invested.
Did you like watching this video? Then download our app, Informed Investor, to watch more such informative and interesting videos.